If you're feeling tense about what your first bookkeeping client might throw at you, take a deep breath. Let's talk about it. I'm here to help. I recently got a comment from one of my viewers on the video that I recorded about the truth about starting a bookkeeping business in 2025. And here's what she wrote. What will my first customer be like? Will she ask things that I won't know? Will there be things that I don't know how to solve? I know she is not the only one that's feeling this way, right? I remember when I got my first client, I was so nervous. I was just anticipating and trying to figure out and trying to over-prepare. Because in the beginning, I know you're nervous. I know that you're feeling unsure. Here's the thing. Your first client does not expect you to know everything. Like I just said, even though I had all this experience myself, I still worried that they were going to ask me something that I didn't know. I think it was something around sales tax, a sales tax question for another state I'm in California, so they asked a question about another state. I did not know the answer. But here's what I did. I told them that I needed to look into that because I didn't want to rush into giving them an incomplete or an incorrect answer. And I'd like to take the opportunity to do a little bit more research and then get back to them. They were very happy with that answer. And in the meantime, when I went back, I got resourceful. Not only did I think, okay, what do I know? Where can I look something up? And then I also asked myself, who do I know that could help me to get to the right answer? And I ultimately did, because that's the thing I want to stress to you. You are never going to know every little thing that the client asks of you, but you are resourceful. You will be resourceful. It's not always about, do you know the answer yourself? Do you know how to ask other people? Who do you know? What do they know? And that is how you start to stack up your knowledge bank, your skill set, your knowledge, your experience. But I urge you to just get started. You are never going to be fully ready, but the experience that you're going to gain from having that first or the first few clients, what you want to do is you want to ask clarifying questions. After all these years of being in business and after all these decades of being in the accounting field, I still will send emails or a Slack or a text saying, hey, I've got a couple of clarifying questions. Especially in these days when you're in an online space, you're going back and forth in whether you're using Slack or some other text channel or even like a video or a Zoom call. You need to have clarifying questions, and that is okay. As long as you're upfront with your client, that is what they want. They want somebody who's going to be a true partner to them, someone who's going to be resourceful, someone who's going to help them, and someone who's going to be truthful about where they're at. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to say things like, I don't know. The nervousness will come through, but just take a pause. Breathe and just be ready to answer the question with something along the lines of, you know what, I don't have that answer for you right now, but let me look into it and get back to you by the end of the week. Give them what the next steps are going to be and the expectation of when they can expect your response. The point here is that your first client or your first few clients, they do not expect you to know everything. But what they do want, what they do expect is a bookkeeper who will be resourceful, helpful, and committed to figuring things out. And that's exactly who you are. Because if you're taking the care into getting bookkeeping skills, getting certifications, or going through some sort of program, or like my viewer, asking questions of those of us who are a little bit ahead of their journey, then you're already ahead of the game yourself. You are taking action. I know you want to be thoughtful and you want to be resourceful and you want to be ready, but I don't want you to use that as an excuse to hold you back and not get started. Stay calm, ask good questions. And when something comes up that is new to you, trust yourself to find the answer. You are more ready than you think. You got this. And honestly, the experience that you are going to gain from having those first few clients, it is priceless. Don't wait until you think you have all the answers. That day will never be here. Please hear me when I tell you, you will learn so much more by just starting. And yeah, maybe you'll stumble a little bit, but that is okay. Think back to whenever you were trying to learn a new skill, even riding a bike or getting on rollerblades, going line dancing, any of those things. We don't know the steps the first time, and it takes a little bit of practice. But what happens? After you practice and after a few tries, you realize, okay, what's the worst that can happen? All right, I fell. I skidded my knee. All right, I tripped up. I didn't know the steps, or I messed other people up because they were around me. But you got better. I want you to remember back to a time when you were trying to figure something out and you were able to master it. But it took time. So be kind to yourself. And in this particular case, where you are going to have a paying client, be kind to yourself, be truthful, be resourceful, be helpful, be committed, all those things. It comes in time. Be patient with yourself. If you're wondering how to land that first client or maybe how to host a discovery call, check out the video that's coming up on your screen next. I'm here to help. Until next time, I'm Veronica from the Bookkeeping Shop. Bye for now.